I mean, the instances of damage block is actually very good against the Broodmother. You can basically stop the spiders from hurting you for like 7 seconds while the flesh heap is active. You try to run the spiders into the pudge, or any of the heroes end up getting cleared out instantly. It's okay against the CM as well. It's a little bit surprising, but you think about it and it kind of makes sense here. I don't mind it too much. You think they're going to be playing this in pause one?
I I think that's the best guess right now, right? Because otherwise, the Undying's already going to hold down like the 5 basically. So I don't know you want to switch it there. Do you try like off lane or mid pudge instead? It just kind of feels funky anywhere other than the 1.
Yeah, you're right. I think they can kind of flex it around, maybe play it in the off lane or the mid if they absolutely have to.
Mm.
So maybe they'll just do that. They'll change around where it goes based on where the Broodmother goes, I guess, because you aren't largely concerned about the Broodmother into the Pudge.
Oh,
They grab the Sven alongside it. Okay. All these spiders are going to clear out instantly. The Broodmother's no threat, but now we're starting to get towards the territory I was talking about earlier. This is most likely going to be a pause 1 Sven. The other team, people were running at pause 4 for a little bit because the armor felt really good,
yeah.
but the armor isn't as good as against like the Crystal Maiden and the Mirana here. So very likely going to be pause 1 Sven. Curious how Alpha is going to respond to this one though, because they finally have to reveal their hand on what their other core is going to be other than this Broodmother. And like I was saying, we go into the territory now of you countering this Broodmother a little bit too hard. Maybe they can punish it with some free picks now on Alpha.
But if you're Alpha, you got to be looking at a mid option that could potentially lane against either a Lesh or a Pudge. That's not a bad choice there. Looking at that situation, so the bat I think was banned out in both of the matches in the previous
Yep.
series. So
Yes.
you
It
get to see
was.
it come through here, and that's gonna hold up the mid matchup pretty damn well.
Mm-hmm. No matter what they're playing into that one, it's going to do fairly well. I mean, again, Pudge does block the instance damages of like the sticky napalm being dropped onto you, but he doesn't have 100% uptime on that. Batrider goes in on you with the Firefly. You're playing pretty upfront with the Pudge. Odds are you're just going to melt to it.
Slow as
So
hell and really no escape.
they get rid of the Faceless Void, which makes sense. You don't want to play that against the Batrider. Give
Yeah.
them a chance to just like have you melt underneath the Firefly inside the Chronosphere, as well as the combinations with like the Crystal Maiden and whatnot. Um, Plus, while you're on the side of the map dealing with the Bird Mother, it gives Faceless Void the chance to farm. So
Basis
glad
taken
they got rid of
out.
that one.
Alpha, meanwhile, do ban away the Bloodseeker. So, yeah, right. Brood, Bat, Mirana, not really heroes that want to deal with the Rupture at any point. And the Bloodseeker does some damage too. The only question I would have is if it were a Bloodseeker pick on Cringe Crew,
Where would it go?
right, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's not a bad ban in theory. It's just with this lineup, I don't know if it was much of a concern, but better safe than sorry if you're Alpha, I guess, right? Because if they do find some way to slot it in, you're going to be kicking yourself. But okay, that one makes a little bit more sense. The Legion Commander ban out there, try to protect the Bat, make sure he doesn't get his entire initiation ruined in half a second.
Yeah. He counters it out in two amazing ways. Just being able to jump on the bat with the duel or be able to press the attack and save them. Invoker random
Um,
things. I don't know about this one.
what exactly is this going to look like? Is this the Sven back to 4 for them?
Uh,
Hmm.
Maybe
There's no
this
such
is
thing as a
super
support
confusing,
invoker.
man.
That's not
Yeah,
happening.
this is so confusing. I mean, it stops the Batrider initiation. I think that EMP is really good at slowing down the momentum from Alpha's draft as well. But I don't know where
Hmm.
these heroes are going to go at this point.
Oh,
Into the SF.
okay. That's going to be position 1
Yeah.
SF from Rises, so
Oh, it's actually Sooth's playing the Invoker. All right. He is known for playing this one. It's been a while since I've seen him. Which team was he? I think we're casting his games in Div 2. Oh my god, it has been so long. It was
he stood in for Wolf Team a couple of times, like a month or two ago. Actually, I don't
I
think
need to
Wolf
look
Team
this one
exists
up.
anymore, actually. Well, While you look that up, let's swing it on over. You can see who's picking what here
Oh,
in
it was
terms
no
of
ping.
no ping. Okay. So yeah, we have
Yeah.
the Pudge at the 1 for them. The Invoker will be 2, Leshrac 3, so it is going to be Flea on the position for Sven, which you were talking about it, Neff. You pointed out some of the let's be more polite, not call them problems with the Force Sven, but just the things that he did in a position 4 role weren't as good as some other heroes did, but
Not all position fours are created equal, is what you're saying.
yeah.
I don't know, like the armor feels amazing. Don't get me wrong, but this isn't a game where armor is going to feel that great. I mean, there's a lot of magic damage coming into these heroes on the side of Alpha, so
Mm-hmm.
that strength that you get from the shard, which is a lot of the time the reason why people pick this Force Spin, isn't going to be so good here. So honestly, I'm gonna have to go with Alpha. Cringe Crew's draft looking kind of cringe to me, man.
Living up to their name, you know?
Yeah.
The lineup is cringe, our draft is cringe, and you are cringe if you lose to it. So realistically, they're just keeping with the theme here on the
I
cringe.
thought you were gonna say you are cringe, and then full stop. Like,
just cut it off there.
Yeah.
I'm not going for the kill there just yet, but
Yeah, wait till you spend a couple days with me.
these new loading screens, though, I mean they're neat, I guess. It's better than just staring at nothing.
This spooky.
Running from Roshan on that one.
No way I'm going to be able to focus on the game now.
It's just so distracting.
Okay, both teams smoking up at the beginning of the game here, Kmart. Are they going to run into each other is the question. I don't think you're going to be so pleased to run to the SF now when he's got these change to the Shadow Rays. These things slowing you down. The dramatic damage that you take. Your turn rate being debuffed. Of course, if you run into him by himself, and the SF is just going to get absolutely owned. So,
I mean, it's no bloodlust, but it's, you know, it's
oh
okay.
yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, no immediate fighting, but got 5 heroes up on the high ground here. They dropped this ward mid. The Widge is honking, but yeah, nobody's walking over here. Absolutely not gonna happen. But they're set up to steal some runes, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Warden showed himself for half a second underneath that observer ward that Dyer placed on the high ground there. They do realize that they're at least up to something around this area. If you walk forward, though, you show yourself, you try to grab this banner room, Pud is going to hook you into the rest of his team, and you're in a rough place. He just showed himself, though, so I think they're just going to let this one go. Instead, they'll move back. In fact, you see Rises all the way back at his own banner room after he sees the Pudge over there. He wants absolutely no part of this one.
3 out of 4 to Cringe Crew to start, so
yeah,
a little bit of gold. Not a bad play there, and we'll see, I guess, first and foremost, what this offlane does for Cringe Crew. It is 3 Leshrac and 4 Sven, so I have not seen that laning matchup all that often, Neff. You have a stun on the Sven, right? So there's always a threat there, and Shadowfiend's not the tankiest of individuals.
Yeah. They're actually more tanky than he used to be. 2.7 strength growth. But his base strength is not high.
Yeah, he's getting hit up a little bit here, but Flea honestly taking just as much damage, so he does back himself away, and that was the combo, right? One stun into another, Rises loses like half of his health, but this early on, not going to finish it.
Yeah. Rise actually sends himself out 2 mangoes at the beginning of the game rather than like an extra salve in order to heal himself up.
Okay.
So he's going to be spamming out Shadow Races.
It's kind of a old school strat. Back when the SF was mid, you just blew all your mana on raises to get the early farm advantage. Don't know how well it works in the safe lane, but farm on SF is really never the wrong call. So
yeah, I mean, you end up losing a lot of farm. You don't utilize those mangoes that well. All the gold just goes back into spending it. But I mean, one of the nice things about this lane between the Sven and Leshrac, that I want to go back to that point you were making earlier. You have a setup stun for Leshrac split Earth, so you've got decent kill potential there. And like you mentioned, not the tankiest at the beginning of the game here on the SF, so you'll be forced to go probably early raindrops, early want maybe like one other stat item in order for him to just not get instantly blown up by these heroes.
Now he's just kind of... He's playing it safe, trying to make the most efficient use of those mangoes, as we were talking about as well, but... I don't know. Lee... Okay, he is going to make a move here. Onto Yodomi instead. That is a far easier target, yeah. Rises may have some nice strength gain, but the CM sure as hell doesn't, and... Quick and easy first blood.
Yep. No stat items on the CM either, so yeah, it just blows right up.
Well, working towards a Ring of Bassi there. That doesn't really help either if you get jumped in on again, but it's better than nothing. In the meantime, well, over on the other side, the Warden doing undying things, right? This hero just kind of plays one way, but this is the interesting thing about this current iteration of the lineup here. Back on KBU US, the Warden honestly was like the best and most consistent performer on that lineup, and he was playing the 4. With Flea with the team now, his position kind of gets moved. He plays more of the 5, so be interested to see if he can have that same effectiveness when he's attached to the lane more than he was with the last lineup.
Hook up the mark there. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Undying going all in on the laning phase. Like this 6 enchanted mango strat, like yes, you can kind of shut down the Broodmother during the lane, but all of a sudden your Undying has like absolutely nothing, and they have okay heroes for clearing out Tombstone and whatnot. It's not like Undying is going to find much use with just the Tombstone later in these fights. The Mirana happens to be very good at dealing with the Undying. In fact, she's probably gonna go do that right now. Well, hard to approach the Tombstone at the moment.
Realm hooked. I think it might have just been like a zombie spawn. But they don't get the hook off there. Meanwhile, up top, Rises did get caught out. Yodomi's going to fall as well, as Sunlight gets both of the kills on the Leshrac there. So 2-0-1 for your Lesh in the early stages. And I mean, we talked about it, right? You've got the setup stun, 2 points in Stormhammer. It's pretty damn hard to miss your Split Earth off of that, but until Rises is tankier, he's just going to keep getting caught just like this. And Sunlight's actually going to take this fight with no HP. No, he's not. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to take that fight. Yeah, with another raise there, it's very difficult.
Not for a moment he was going to try and risk it all, but you just picked up a double kill in this lane. No reason to give all that gold right back. Especially with the salve coming out, he's just going to heal up, and the Flea is working with some mangoes and some wand charges, so realistically, if this duo gets too close, they could jump in again.
Yeah, looks like Flea wants to do that right now as well. CM slows that one down. So I'm approaching any closer. Not much happening in the mid lane. I keep on like going back to Wantage base on it, but it's just both these heroes CSing. It's too difficult for Batrider actually build up and then build up any stacks to stick a napalm in front of the Invoker, just because they'll get like cold snapped or tornadoed as soon as he tries to walk at him, and they'll shut that one down.
At the same time, Sooths doesn't really have the damage to be aggressive himself.
Exactly. You can definitely slow down the Batrider's farm just by hitting him with like a tornado EMP, but at that point, if Soul manages to kill his mana back up, tornadoes don't cool down, kind of become under threat. So these people are in a little bit of a stalemate, not wanting to hard keep it onto the others.
Soul going for the early Boots of Travel build, so honestly, the farming is going to be pretty fantastic with those boots. Might be able to TP around for some ganks as well, but we'll have to see, because he's a little ways off from that at the moment. But if mid lane continues to play out like this with not much in the way of aggression or rotations, then gonna have that time as Sooths. Yeah, that's why we said he doesn't really have much room to be aggressive. If the tornado doesn't hit there, the EMP doesn't hit, and you just wasted some mana. Yeah. He's got 12 wand charges, I guess, but
he'll have more soon. One of the benefits of playing against a Batrider in lane.
Ooh. Okay, never mind. Soul, he went in there, but he's not even... Well, he's 6 now, but he wasn't at the
actually
time.
blocks off Flea from walking through the trees there.
And now Flea might actually go down. Okay.
Yeah. Very nice positioning by Yodomi there.
Ooh, can they
go for missing more? A raise there on Rises. I think this is going to cost him the kill. If that raise connected, I think they might have been able to get that one. He could have landed that lash at a raise and it definitely would have done enough damage. So Slight misplay there by Rises. Yodomi God, though. That guy doesn't make mistakes.
Very nice play. I mean, it's their first kill of the game. Obviously, that's important. It's a kill that Rises gets, even more important, and it's a kill that prevents aggression, although, about that. Yeah. Yeah, you narrowly avoided it the first time. Rises didn't quite learn the lesson there, especially considering your CM was backing away to pull and just gets a little caught out. Why the Warden TP top? Okay.
Let's see if he does anything with this one.
Just drop Tombstone and dive tower at this point. That's exactly what they're going to do. There's the Tombstone. They now know that Rises is in here as well. Does that change up the game plan? Kind of. I mean, they want to get the kill on Yodomi. They will still get it, but it costs them the Tombstone. And really, at this stage in the game, Yodomi's only worth slightly more gold than the Tombstone is. That swings it more their way, though. Monster left in a 1v1 down bot. Going to be able to take down the Pudge.
Yeah, that was really fortunate timing. Under most circumstances, the Batrider would have TP'd in and punished that dive pretty hard, but he had just TP'd over to the mid lane. He went and was clearing out the agent, so he couldn't do anything to respond to that one.
One last kill there onto Widge on the back end to kind of even up the tally a little bit once again. But now if you're Realm, you got to be kind of careful here, right? Monster was able to just take him down. Yodomi's now coming in to help. He's going to try for the dismember play, but it gets Monster off of him, I guess, but it doesn't really allow him to turn.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the Vanguard now completed on the Pudge. Monster doesn't have any kill potential offered to the Pudge anymore. I mean, he didn't have much before. He only had a single point in the Flesh Heap, though, which isn't much damage block.
Right. Yeah. Realm going to be in a little bit of a safer position now. Sooth's did TP onto that tower on the back end as Monster was sort of falling away, so he can't really immediately go back to mid, so he's going to try to get aggressive, and they've spotted this stacked camp. It was only this camp, though. They didn't actually stack Ancients, so I guess they won't lose
They'll get
that.
punished for this. They go and clear a stacked camp, but you end up giving away the tower to Monster down the bottom. So, punishment is there. Now it looks like they're trying to wrap onto Flea here. Well, I thought they were, but Rise just clearing out these creep camps.
So yeah, they take a camp, they lose their tower. The Warden was able to soak up a little bit of experience mid, I suppose, so...
Oh yeah, they're going on to Flea.
You have a little bit of an advantage there, but yeah, Flea is in some trouble. Can he walk away? Fairly easily, actually. And now here comes the Lesh. They know that they use some spells, but Flea used his Stormhammer as well, and yeah. Not a whole lot Sunlight can do there, but he's able to retake control of the lane.
Mid lane? Coming down to Realm here.
Get the lasso. Realm needs help. There's going to be, well, okay, a tornado that does fly through, but it doesn't actually do much against the DOT, and...
What?
Do they have enough to... I don't think they do. No. Soul already used everything he's got, so they're going to have to let that go. Widge left alone up top will be taken down as Sunlight picks up another kill on this Leshrac. 5-0 now. That is going to be the bright spot.
Yeah. Leshrac is having a hell of a game. He's going to be able to rush a Bloodstone just like you would be able to on a mid Leshrac.
Not able to get the full Edict there. And had to back off. It's only a level 1 Edict, though, but they should still get this tower. As long as they manage some aggro a little bit, but with the Batrider coming in... Okay. Yodomi's here as well, so Flea's going to get rooted up. Zeus is coming in, though. There's going to be the Tornado into the EMP. Is it enough to matter? No, Flea will still fall, and with Widge kind of wrapping around, gotta be careful. Can he hit an arrow? Does he try an arrow? There it is, but it's not going to connect, but here comes Rises into the fight, raises out onto the Warden, they'll finish him. They dust up Suits as well, so his Ghost Walk isn't going to help him, knocked back by the Flame Break, and Yodomi finds the kill, so they go from potentially losing their tier 1 neph to picking up 3 kills there.
Yeah, all while this is happening, I mean, Monster's down here on the bottom lane, putting in work here to the tier 2. I think he was just trying to force the Fortify. They don't end up dropping it, but... This is like a quarter HP there. This is rough all of a sudden. 2k net with me out of the laning phase. And the spell's going to be coming off a cooldown again, or well, Last is going to be coming off a cooldown again pretty quickly, so they're going to be able to find another kill.
Right.
They got to figure out something that it needs to do to get back in this game. I want to say, yeah, you need to like smoke gank or something right now, but you're kind of on your way to a couple of important items, but haven't reached any of them yet. Witchblade is just like a little bit off on the Invoker. Leshrac doesn't quite have his Bloodstone. Pudge only has a Vanguard. You know, his damage really starts coming online once he hits that Aghanim Scepter. I think you're just kind of on the back foot. You have to accept that for the next couple of minutes.
At least just trying to use sunlight to keep them in it a little bit as they get that tier 1 tower up top, so at least you've got that. You've got the battering ram still. You can make some sort of trade there. They just need to not give up too much, but going back to the point you were talking about with Monster, he's just been farming. He's just been pushing. He got the 1 kill onto the Pudge, but there's that sort of big bad Wraith pack that he's working on, so once he has that, the Brood could start getting involved in more of these fights, and that damage reduction is just unbelievably hard to deal with, especially for Cringe Crew, because their damage is a little bit limited at the moment in the first place.
I know how I feel about him going for the Wraith Pack Totem instead of the pipe as his first item. I think against the Leshrac, you want the pipe pretty badly. Because, you know, you actually keep your spiders long enough to be able to just, like, tear apart the Leshrac. Wraith Pack, obviously, not having quite the same effect, but it does let you fight with your team a little bit more, so probably a sign that he does plan on grouping up with his team as soon as this one's done, instead of continuing to play solo like he would with a pipe. But there it is.
So the Wraith Pact picked up. Honestly, the way he's been farming, he could probably just start up something like a pipe now and get both
what
at
a
a
boring way to play offlane.
I mean, yeah. What was that? Tweet from Seb, I think, this morning. He was trying to bargain, saying he's okay with bringing Necronomicon back if it means getting rid of Wraith Pact, which those are bold words. I mean, the support life when Necro was in the game just sucked, but
it was not fun. I think he forgets. It's been out of the game for so long.
He wasn't playing support back when it was in the game, so it's like, oh, it wasn't my problem back then. But now, yeah, Necronomicon. It was fun, but not if you're a support player. Someone like Yodomi, very glad that it's gone. Speaking of Yodomi, though, smokes up. Soul's got the ult, so they're gonna look for really anybody they can farming up here in the jungle. There's no sort of immediate target to hit up. They'd have to go a little bit further down the ramp, and
Flea isn't a great grab, unfortunately.
yeah, and hopefully actually makes the jump first. Good stun.
You know, Observer on the high ground there, or the cliff.
Uh-oh. Now they get the hook onto the Bat Rider. They're going to pull him in. Is there any save? No, there is not. And Yodomi's actually going to get hit up here as well. The tornado clips onto him. They've got the vision. They've got the kill. And that smoke gank attempt turns into 2 dead heroes. And Cringe Crew are looking at mid. Flea's just going to charge his way forward. He's going to get the stun onto the Mirana, but the tower shots very nearly kill him. They don't get the kill, but hey, Witch can't defend the tower anymore. They force out the glyph. Honestly, they could stick around. They've got the siege creep here too, so you don't have to back off.
Yeah, you definitely want to take this tower right now if you can, but Bat Rider now coming in, still has lasso available, to be forced to back up because of that. I don't like Flea sticking around with 300 HP. This man's bold.
Does he have... He's got 8 wand charges? That's not nothing, but...
It's not much. It's not nothing, but it's not a ton either.
Yeah. Dangerous game he's playing, but hey. He was smoked up. He was feeling pretty confident. He's getting some heals in from his teammate there. Only level 1 soul rip, but a little bit of extra HP.
Yeah.
Question
How
is,
close
what
are we to them pipe now? Alright, we're still a little ways away. Probably going to continue to dodge them until that pipe's completed.
Just keeps on farming out the bottom lane. Leshrac TPing mid, though. Yeah, Yodomi's the only one here.
Really want to force this tower.
Yeah. Not a whole lot the CM can do. Arrow. Free last hit. There you go. Good job, Widge, but not able to protect the tower. Tier 1 goes down. They do at least get the hood part finished off for Monster, so the progress is there, but yeah, they really do want him to finish this off pretty damn soon, because it feels like the time. for Alpha to take a fight, right? Monster's got his items. They've got Lasso. I guess, realistically
Big
speaking,
hook up in the top lane.
Rises could get involved as well, but not if he loses a teammate here. Yeah, that hook perfectly placed onto Black Soul, and Zeus is the one to get the kill. Actually, I guess you don't really care. Either one of these heroes could use the gold, but
Right. Ooh.
just need to find the
They
pick.
see Leshrac wait for Bloodstone, and they want to go in on him, but Lee and Warden were both sitting behind him.
Wow, that's a problem. Okay, Widge is able to fall back. Yodomi, meanwhile, is channeling out the ult. It just isn't doing any actual damage, though. The Widge will still fall. Yodomi has nothing to work with, so he'll fall as well. Monster just trying to pull himself out with whatever spiders are still alive, and
Yeah.
as you say, they tried to punish, but they didn't know the supports were there.
Yeah, there was some 4D chess right there. He ended up wasting the Bloodstone on Leshrac to try to bait the Broodmother in. And Broodmother's like, okay, great, I have my teammates around. And then there's just like more teammates sitting behind the Leshrac afterwards as well. Oh, managed to find a couple of kills there. And they even out the net worth pretty quickly here, and they're still pretty far away from the pipe now. He's like still 1,500 gold away before they can actually take a fight. So yeah, they've evened things out the last couple of minutes here on Cringe Group. It was looking pretty rough for them for a little bit now. Not so bad.
Yeah, they've certainly bought themselves some time, if nothing else, and Zeus got himself a hand of Midas off the back of that engagement, so XP and gold is going to take a little bit of an upswing for him, and
yeah, Invoker players can't help themselves.
Yeah.
They have a disease, the disease of capitalism.
I'm going to get a Witchblade
They get a
and
little
Midas.
bit, and then they just want more.
Or I'm going to get an Urn and then a Midas, or I'm going to get Boots and then a Midas is never not in the build.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of the time the Invoker gets away with the greed. Zeus hoping that this is one of those times, and as of right now, looking to get on the sort of offensive a little bit. 3-man smoke into the jungle. They're going to make their way all the way up top where Soul is hanging out. Do they have the vision? Well, that certainly helps. Okay, that makes it a hell of a lot easier if he just kind of walks into it as Zeus gets the kill with the EMP, and neph, they're in a position to maybe push this tower a little bit too. That's a full creep wave coming up behind him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like down in the bottom lane. Yeah, pops with Bloodstone, clears out the bugs. You're not gonna be able to come out to him, and then walks away immediately afterwards. So, a lot of things go in the way of Cringe Crew right now. And Flea doing exactly what you were talking about, putting some damage into this tower up in the top one with the God Strength. All right, we get a moment to break down some of the other things happening in the game. What are the biggest issues? This Batrider's just like gone down a couple times in a row before he's finished up his BKB. He got the Boots of Travels done, but honestly, his farm is looking pretty awful. 6.8k here, almost 20 minutes in the game. It is not what you want to be seeing from your mid laner, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially considering... There we go. Going back to the point we were making just before, you know, the Invoker's the closest core to him, but he just picked up a Midas, so if you're not farming, the gap's going to expand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean,
given... Go ahead.
Once he gets the BKB, the plays can still be made, right? Then the net worth difference matters a little bit less, but he's got to get there first. He's still like 1,000 gold away.
Yeah, they have to make that space for him to be able to get that 1,000 gold, not just melt right away. And they can follow him around the map. This Leshrac does have Boots of Travels completed. The Pudge just completed his Aghanim Scepter as well, so he's going to be looking to fight right now. Yeah, this round just does an incredible amount of damage. The AoE is like way too big as well. It's actually super sick. So, we're just going to be walking at them right now while this Batrider still struggles to finish up his BKB. He's completely missed his timing. Right now, Cringe Crew are well on the path to just like crushing out this game. But they're grouping up right now on Sunlight down the bottom lane, who you're sitting there AFK for a second. I was a little bit concerned. But they can't commit on to him hard with all these heroes.
Which okay.
Yeah. Like that is very wishful thinking.
Ooh. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Which is patting his stats. He's like, look, I hit a stun. See guys? Doesn't really help out much. This could be a little bit more important, though. Zeus is in some trouble. Will that arrow... Oh.
Ooh.
Well, I like the initiative. You know, I don't know. The timing may have been wrong anyway. TP might have completed without the
Mm.
knockback, but it looked like it might have hit, and now Widge is going to get punished. Stun, hook, easy kill. It's just not going Alpha's way. The last like 5 minutes, suddenly everything is kind of turned against them in terms of their fortunes, and now the Roche attempt's going to come in from Cringe Crew.
Yeah, this is going to be very quick. The damage amp onto...
Yomi.
There's no way Yomi steals this, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, what is this? What is this?
What are you doing, Yomi? My man, please!
What?
You know what that is? That's the wolf confidence. Okay, you play a little baby Crystal Maiden. There's no way you go for a play like that. But when you're a wolf, you know, you give a quick howl in the voice chat, you force stab yourself into the pit, and you think you're going to be able to ult and kill every hero.
There are two wolves inside of you. Unfortunately, both of them are feeding. Oh, he saw that the Aegis got picked up too, and it announced it. Oof. The persona does things to your mind. That's all I can say. Oh well. Yomi, honestly, at the end of the day, he makes that play, but he's Crystal Maiden. He's like the lowest net worth hero in his team. Him dying doesn't hurt too much, and
No.
he's got Philosopher's Stone, so he basically gets all that gold back.
Right.
Unhealthy levels of coping here.
Yeah, this is gonna make just the same amount of money while he's dead. Who cares, right?
But now
we talked earlier about Monster maybe helping out his team once he got the pipe done, but
right,
he's in no position to join his team and take a 5v5 fight into the Cringe Crew right now. So he's been playing the opposite side of the map, and unfortunately for him, Leshrac is way too easy every time. He's clearing out his bugs every time clearing out his spiders every time he tries to run them at a tower. Game has not been easy for him. I mean, he's sitting 1-0. He's sitting like second on the net worth. He's top net worth hero with SF as well. Like, things aren't going awful for him, but I don't see them getting any better either. That's the thing.
right. I mean, he's second in net worth, as you said, but what is he doing with that net worth at the moment? Is Flea just gonna charge in? Does not care. Might care a little bit more, yeah, with Monster coming in here, but that's the confidence right now that Cringe Crew are playing with. They've got an Aegis to work around with Sunlight, so there just aren't too many opportunities. If Alpha want kills, they've got to find one hero by themselves. These spiders are just splitting up like crazy. Okay. Pulling zombies with them. You ever see a dozen zombies chasing a dozen spiders across the world? That's a weird one.
Ooh, top one, we got some action. Bryce actually pops the BKB.
Okay.
Oh
Here's
my
the problem.
god.
Oh, wow. Never mind. Not really much of a problem at all. And Realm hooks his teammate. They could potentially try and take this. Black Soul's coming in. There's going to be the lasso. They've caught Realm. Where's the damage, though? They need to be able to hit him. Ryze is going to start to turn. Monster is TP'd in. Will he actually join the fight, though? He might need to, because they've actually gotten onto the SF. Ryze no longer has backup. He tries to lifesteal through it with just the mask, and that is not nearly enough. And Neph, it felt like half the team wanted to turn, the other half was just trying to run away, and they kind of get their wires crossed.
Yeah, I think they saw how good the beginning of that fight looked. The SF managed to take away Leshrac's Aegis. They ended up messing the hook there on Pudge and kind of throw themselves out of position. The Alpha goes, or half the team goes, okay, this is our opportunity. We should strike now. The other half goes, this was never a good fight to begin with. I don't think we should go in. And end up losing the fight anyways, because at the very least, they managed to take out the Aegis, so maybe they could look for a kill after this, but they still don't have anything great for jumping these heroes. The thing that they're looking for now is just Batrider finishing up this Blink Dagger so they actually like begin a fight on their terms. And right now, I don't think we're getting that. Oh, it's still impressive. They managed to keep this game relatively even, have such high net worth on the SF and the Broodmother. Despite the fact that it is 17-6 right now, it feels a lot worse than the net worth graph actually would imply. But at the same time, I mentioned earlier, I mentioned again, I don't see this getting any easier for Alpha.
They're in a bit of a bad way at the moment. That Rider just got pushed out of his triangle here too, so he's not finding easy farm at this point. He hasn't been finding any easy farm throughout any point of this game, actually. But
You see what Broodmother's building, by the way?
Oh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
The spider snare. This one actually works. It's very funny. It's a funny haha. We'll get back to that in a second, though.
Yeah, Widge is getting hit up here. He's able to sidestep the Sunstrike at least, so
Zombie
trying to
will give
make
him
it
away,
way. Yeah. Tornado connects. They find the kill. Soul tried to go in with the lasso, but Realm doesn't really go down there. Pops his BKB, turns around. They can't get the kill onto the bat, but now he has no lasso and no BKB, so he's not really able to do anything. Just has to walk away, and at the very end of the fight, Yodomi gets taken down again as the Crystal Maiden falls, and Alpha just...
Alright, take a look. In the bottom lane, Soul tries to do damage control, but immediately TP's down here with the Boots of Travels here on Sooth and wants to be able to catch the Bat Rider. And they might just get him in the trees. He's gonna have to throw out a tornado, but he's off the mark, so they manage to dodge. So they stop the push. Actually, I say that Flea's gonna... You have to get out of the way for the hook. Alright. Coordination a little bit off there.
Yeah. Worth a try, but they're not able to get it. But now Cringe Crew just starting to take a little bit more control over the map. They've flipped that net worth lead their way, right? Up by 2k now, and momentum is looking like it's favoring them, whereas Alpha...
Momentum was always favoring them this game. It just...
True.
Net worth is favoring the side of Alpha as Broodmother was farming very quickly. Now it's the other way around.
What do Alpha really do here to try and approach a team fight? Is it a position where maybe they actually just wait for Monster to finish the Ags and then they try to go in, or...
Well,
Widge.
they're not waiting to go on Widge.
He was able to Yules after the first Yule, so that allowed him to dodge a stun, but can't dodge multiple.
Yeah, it just delayed the inevitable, unfortunately.
I mean,
So, you know, silver lining. You've got 21 kills on Cringe Crew, but 15 of those kills are just on the supports. This is a 9-death Crystal Maiden right now.
hey, boy. Yeah.
It's not so bad when it's your support dying.
9
it sounds
on
like
Yodomi,
copium, but
6 on Widge. Yeah, it could be worse, right? Let's put it that way. It's maybe not the best news in the world, but they at least have something to build for, right? I was asking, do they wait for Monster to finish off the Agnum Scepter? The fact that that question can still be asked as opposed to they're just screwed is a little bit of good news, and they did end up finishing that. Where's that courier?
It's on the way now.
They don't need it for this kill, at least. Seuss taken down right away. Can they find anyone else?
Digger completed on the Bat as well. He's going to try to get on top of one of these heroes, but he's gone full hog. He's gone Lechonk mode here on the Warden. Give him the speed boost.
Warden gets stunned. Realm still walking away. At this point, this is starting to drag on a little bit longer than I think Alpha wanted initially, but everyone's still together. They haven't split up too far. The Leshrak's not here, although he could be in about 10 seconds. They're not going to push it much further than that. You're getting into sort of risky territory. They found the one kill, and it's going to have to be enough for now.
Where's he dropping the snares? I don't see them.
I heard it, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either. Huh. Maybe I'm crazy and I'm not seeing with my eyes or something.
Soul.
All right, I'm trying too hard to look at the spinner snares. I don't see kills happening on the other side of the map. Okay.
Soul gets picked off there. Realm. Just his third kill. 3, 2, and 4, but hey, he's getting back up. Working his way to the top of the net worth at this point. BKB finished off recently, so he's going to be doing some nice bit of work sort of anchoring the team fight here for Cringe Crew. As
okay, look at this. He drops a spinner snare globally. He can set it into the Roche pit, and this is going to scout out Roche.
Okay. Can they do anything with this information, though? They now know it's being taken. They're going to start...
Maybe.
Start coming over. There's an arrow. It suits, but... it's going to be close on the timing. Yodomi could maybe get in there with the force. No, okay. Grab the Aegis. Grab it. There you go. Okay. Realm does grab it. Panics a little bit there and pops the BKB. But rises. Okay. Wow. Silver Edge hit just takes down the Warden right away, so at least you find something, but they're not going to be able to finish anyone else off. The TP's complete.
And now he finds himself stuck. He's gonna have to use his last leap charge in order to get out of there. I mean, Soul could have gotten him out by walking over with Firefly, but I guess he chose not to.
Yeah,
You
you can
yourself
use
out.
your leap charge.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Well, kill on the Warden is something, but now you got to deal with 2 lives on the Pudge, so not really sure how well they can deal with that. Although Rise's, we saw on the back end there, his damage is sort of ticking up quite nicely. Part of that was the Silver Edge to sort of boost the first hit, but the right-click threat is coming along. He's working his way towards the Scotty, so he's going to get to a point where he's hitting hard, but he needs more time. Or needs a gank, maybe?
Some aggressive positioning here. Mirana finishes up the Aghanim Scepter as well, so they've got decent damage right now on Alpha, but they don't manage to connect with these heroes. It's not the Pudge you want to initiate on either. I mean, the guy's got 3.2k HP. If Sven gets off like Warcry as well, he's going to be way too tanky for you to be able to go through. It's very important who you initiate on Alpha. That's the most strict conditions that they take these fights under. It cannot be the Pudge. They're not doing much about this though. I mean, they end up just like clearing out 2 towers there on the side of Cringe. There's very little that's going to stop them continuing to walk forward either. Well, that'll stop them. That'll slow them down at least.
Yeah.
Broodmother taking out the mid tier 2. I'm surprised they didn't hard commit for that. I guess they don't feel super confident about pushing into the high ground against the Batrider. Having someone kidnapped and like pulled into the tier 4s. That is like one of the only conditions that the Pudge actually dies under.
Oh god, what did I just do? Whoops. No. Wrong screen.
I'm sure everything is fine.
There we go. Hello. I fat fingered a button. Hi everybody. We're
Which
back to
one?
the game. It was fine. We just went back to the intermission screen for a sec.
Wonderful. There's nothing interesting happening anyways. We might as well have been on an intermission screen. These teams are playing a game of cat and mouse right now. They're going to be cutting waves, not interacting with each other. Cringe want to fight into them, but Alpha's just going to dodge for now. So you were doing them a favor, honestly. Did we at least have nice music on?
Nope. It was total silence. Says, monster. Gonna get himself hooked, pulled back. Do they have the damage to actually take him down? Yes, they do. Flea picks it up, and okay. That's gonna get them back onto the tower. Sunlight, max level Edict. Working through that tier 2 quite nicely, and Alpha. I don't
want to push the high ground here.
There's heroes so far out of position. If they go for the high ground push, it's gonna either force tier TP's back, or Alpha are just gonna have to let it go. Okay.
Let's clear out the wave, and they'll be forced to play back now. Because again, you're still a little bit concerned about being pulled back into tier 4s. ESF does a reasonable amount of damage. And he's cutting out your creep wave anyway. They find Wish. They swing the net worth a little bit more in their favor, but not much of substance is happening. And unfortunately for them, the age is going to expire the next minute. I don't see them making a high ground push in that time.
Right.
So I'm going to go back to downtime here pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's a bit of a missed opportunity, but if you're Cringe Crew, at least you're the team with the definitive advantage. As yep, Lee gets rooted up. Takes a little bit of damage there, but not a whole lot to show for that. Just the slight annoyance onto the Sven, but I don't know, Neph. When is the next opportunity here for Alpha going to come up? Do you think that they could make a move once the Aegis expires, if maybe they try for a smoke gank?
I think they should try. I mean, if they just have their back against the wall and they wait for Cringe Crew to get another Aegis and push on their high ground, it's only a matter of time until they just lose the game. Cringe Crew have too much of the map and just have an overwhelming farm advantage. So you go for a solo pick off. with lasso and arrow, try to grab something. Radiant scanned this one out though. It was red for a moment there, so they're a little bit hesitant to actually move up this hill,
Rises has a Scotty
even with
now.
the vision they have.
The Shadow Fiend at least can hit hard, but he's got to have a path maybe cleared out for him as Realm gets clipped by an arrow there. Too far away for anything to come of it, but you see Alpha, they're just inching their way forward, kind of creeping a little bit. Waiting to see if maybe someone goes too far forward.
Yeah, I'm bored of this wait and see. I want to see them run in. And that's exactly what they're going to do.
Okay.
Let's go.
They got Realm, they're going to pull him back. Can they take the punch down quickly? Free BKB? Yes, they can. Monster's able to find the first kill. The Spinner Snare actually just hit up onto 3. They're going to be able to keep pushing their way forward. BKBs, though, coming out. Flea, starting to drop a little bit low, but he's not the high priority. They want to try and protect Monster. They're not able to do so. Monster dead. Flea traded. Rises has to wait out this disarm from that Deafening Blast, but he will continue pushing his way forward. What is he going to push onto, though? Oh, they caught Sunlight. Able to take him out here. The Lotus Orb tried to sort of come in there to remove that debuff, but it didn't actually work. So Rises is able to find 2 more kills, triple for the SF, and well, we've been waiting for 10 to 15 minutes for that one, Neph, but Alpha make their move, and they got it.
They did. I mean, yeah, the SF ended up just putting in a ton of damage there. Not one of these heroes have a ton of physical armor. Like, this Sven is supposed to solve that problem for him, but they ended up getting a little bit separated there. So, actually ended up doing 5,400 damage just on the SF alone. So, basically, all him. Definitely the hero that they need to be targeting in these fights. Unfortunately, Suits manages to find a solo kill off onto right in the meantime. Rises, he does a lot of...
That was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Zeus gets away. They have the stolen gem. Sort of sitting in their fountain as a trophy. But, nope, never mind. He's actually going to pick it up. So, not only do they get the kill, but they take that out of their opponent's hands. A little bit of a gold swing, you know, but if you're Cringe Crew, now you got to be careful. Your opponents just showed you what happens when they get the team fight that they want. So, they need to have an answer, and they need somebody to just get on the Shadow Fiend. If they can do that, then a lot of the damage from Alpha is just kind of negated. But without it, they kind of got overwhelmed.
It's difficult as well to like just hard commit onto the Shadow Fiend. Like a lot of the time, the information war is going to be won by Alpha, just because they have Monster here. He's going to scout things out with the spiders. He's going to find heroes with these Spinner Snares. In fact, in the last team fight, disabled a lot of the heroes for a pretty long time with the Spinner Snare. They'll lose Shidomi here, but you're not going to be able to run that far forward. In fact, someone's about to walk into the snare.
2 someones, in fact.
Sorry, the thing is hilarious. So they can just continue to dodge in the meantime. Rise is going to make sure the bottom lane is shoved in. The Invoker's been doing a good job of keeping the side lane shoved in with these Forge Spirits, but obviously Rise is going to deal with them. Like people fight against it. Sheepstick now completed on the Invoker, by the way. That one is going to be incredibly important.
Okay.
You might need a Blink Dagger alongside it, though, to actually get a... Oh!
Whoops!
You got to make sure it works, right?
Right. That was the test BKB.
I mean, it was the second use of it, but it was, you know, it worked before. Does it still work, right?
Yeah, unfortunate, but...
Yeah.
At least Zeus doesn't get like picked off immediately afterwards, so he can just kind of wait out that cooldown. Meanwhile, Widge, he got himself some Boots of Bearing. Okay. I mean, it's an interesting item, right? I mean, it's got benefits. It's just we don't really see it all the time as Zeus able to walk away from that. His teammates are coming in, though, so they're going to look to force some sort of fight. The lasso, though, does go down. They've caught out Sunlight. Can actually finish him off, though. Well, no, not really. Realm just ate his teammate, saved him, walked away.
Yeah, and they're going to go straight into Roshan off of this one. You can end up committing so many ultimates, BKBs, so this Rosh is basically free.
Yeah, they're not even going to try to contest it. They just break onto the other side of the map. So, 3rd Rosh of the game. All 3 going Cringe Crew's way. Yeah, who grabs what? It's Sunlight who takes the Aegis. Suits grabbed himself the Refresher Shard, and The Warden took the cheese. I think he's just holding this for a teammate at this point, though. But get all the goodies from Roshan, and now Alpha have to be careful about how they approach this next fight.
Yeah. I mean, they did exactly what they had to the moment they lost that fight, and they realized that Cringe was heading towards Roshan. Shove in the bottom lane. Now all the heroes in the Cringe crew are forced to rotate down there. Batrider TPs the top lane, tries to shove that in. They're going to lose Yadomi here, unfortunately, but while all this is happening, Soul's just continuing to push top.
Well,
stalling out for time.
Right. Not that big of a deal. You don't be going down there.
Suits is looking for Soul up here. I'm not sure if he realizes that he knows that the hex is done, right?
They did.
He should know.
Yeah, they did see the invoker.
Completed a while ago.
Someone should have pinged it.
Oh no! He activates the TP the same time Rob blinks on the vision of the Shivas.
Ugh. That is unlucky. Realm's able to get a bit of a freebie there, and now... Oh, without your Batrider, you're just kind of down your initiation, right? There's still damage, but without the lasso to start it off, not really going to be able to do too much, and Cringe crew, they kind of know that. They're pushing their way forward. They're able to get in onto Widge. They hit him up. They take him down. They're onto the tier 3 tower as... Okay. I think he blinked into his teammate's hook.
Yup.
You hate to see it, but hey, they're still pushing onto the tower. This glyph is going to help, but it's not going to be enough.
They're doing what they can. They're trying to spider stay, do a little bit of damage, breathe for half a second, but that's basically all it does. Flea's even going to commit God Strength to go into this tier 2. They teleport a couple heroes on this one. Rise is going to try to make quick work of them.
Okay. They do find that kill, but now they need to deal with the rest of the lineup, or do they? They're kind of pushing their opponents back here. There's a gem on the deck. The Warden would love to pick that up real quick. There we go. Realm eats them. And they are going to walk themselves away. But in all of that, they got the middle lane of Rax. That was the primary target. They got that before they did any other shenanigans, and it's all going to work in their favor.
How long does this last? I thought there's a hard time limit on this thing. I guess there's not. I guess there's not.
If there is, it's not in the tooltip, I guess.
There's not.
That's weird. Yeah, long enough to get his teammate out. Now, if you're Alpha, they feel the need to do something, right? They just lost a full lane of Rax. They got to make a move. They do get in onto Realm, but there's an Aeon Disc, so that initiation's gone. They put it on cooldown, and it's a long one, but I don't really know if that matters, especially if they're going to lose a hero in exchange, because Widge just got cut out in the river. Gem hits the deck. Zeus grabs it. Tornado almost clips onto Monster.
Would have been bad for him. Realm was already on top of him. Could have hit him with Dismember immediately after he touches the ground, but they dodge for now. Another minute and a half with the Aegis. I'm sure that they want to try to push high ground with this. I mean, if nothing else, they're going to be able to damage these tier 3s because mid lane is just being shoved in constantly.
Yeah, they're making their way up there. Alpha, I mean, if you bring everyone here,
Yeah, Soul actually ends up blinking away.
Uh-oh. They caught out Monster. There's that refresher shard coming into play. Zeus gets another deafening blast in there, so Monster's dead with no buyback. And at this point, I don't really know what's left in the tank if you're Alpha. Rises can do some damage, but not if he doesn't have backup, as he pops the BKB and the Lotus, reflecting the Stormhammer. But Realm eats his teammate again, gets the Sven out of trouble. Now here comes Sunlight into the fight. Yunomi's going to have to sacrifice himself here, or maybe not. They're just going to ignore him. They're going straight onto the Shadow Fiend. But Rises cannot get away. Stun locked, hexed up, taken down.
And he doesn't even have enough money for buyback. I mean, he's got all the net worth in the world, but still 300 off. And this going for tier 4s, they know they don't have Fortify available. And GG's just called.
Alpha know that they got nothing left, and well, you said it earlier on in the game, Neph. The momentum had always been with the Cringe crew side. It was just that the net worth had sort of favored Alpha a little bit in the early stages, and by the time we get to 45 minutes into the end of the game, that's made very apparent.
quite the easy NA Dota victory, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm,
Alpha, they end up
indeed.
replacing too many players. They try to get a little bit too EG with it, and end up paying the price for it. I'm just saying here, Kmart, you know. North American players reign supreme. We got Flea, baby, even though I wouldn't say that biggest performance on the Sven. Zeus ended up doing a real good job. It's been a while since I've seen this guy, and obviously Invoker being one of the signature heroes that he was pretty well known for. He ended up doing an amazing job. Same with Sunlight up in the top lane. It was a little bit iffy on that lane there between the Sven and the Leshrac, but ended up putting in work.
Yeah, it all works out in the end, and as you said, Flea 3-4 and 24 is a pretty damn good stat line, but a stat line he probably could have gotten with a different pick, other than the Sven. But hey, they won the game. There's not too much to argue with there in terms of the actual results. As Cringe Crew take the opening match of the best of 3. The question now, Neph, can they follow in Infamous's footsteps and get that 2-0 sweep, or can Alpha put something together maybe a little bit stronger, maybe a little bit more cohesive in their game 2 draft to try and fight this one out to a full 3 games? Because things did feel like they were falling apart pretty quickly for them in this one.
I mean, they always had the net worth advantage, but they're falling behind in kills just like constantly from the beginning of the game. Lanes definitely didn't go as well for them as they were supposed to. A lot of it fell apart up in the top lane. I would say that's where the biggest issues came from. So maybe go back for lanes, focus on those being as strong as possible, then go from there in game number 2.
We shall see what adjustments are in store from the Alpha side, as we're going to be getting into game 2 here in really just about 10 minutes or so. So we'll be back in just a little bit. For now, though, stick around. See you on the other side of the break.